We're okay. It was like recording in progress. I was like, excuse me, Mitch. Welcome to episode something. I think it's 9. Who knows? Of All the Hills is the one I chose to die on, aka Of All the Hills, aka Oath. If you are new here, this is a place where look who's showing up. This is a place where we get our hills off, our hills that we're willing to die on. It is a safe space to be toxic because it just is. We need that. We need, places to kind of be silly with everything that's going on in the world, like just to, come by and chill with your niggas and shoot the shit. It's great. Also, what we're doing for the next, I guess, few weeks or whatever is putting up some content. The NBA playoffs is starting up, and the NBA playing game is starting up on Tuesday. As we are recording this, this is right before the Blazers Nuggets game and the Lakers and whoever the fuck they're playing game to decide who is the 6th seed and who is the 7th seed in the West. And we're going to talk a little bit more about sort of the rest of that. But before we get into all that, my name is Ty Foster. I am the host of this beautiful experience, and I'm joined with some fantabulous Black men who can introduce themselves before we get into our hills and Dwa's wild ass hill that he said in pre-production just 3 seconds ago.
I'm not even gonna speak on that.
Oh, he must have been wrong. Clearly.
No, I was
He
right.
definitely was. He definitely was wrong.
I was 100% right.
Why is never wrong, okay?
Well, let me. I'll start off, man. Gustavo Escobar. That's how we do it. Gus. I'm here for good laughs, good content. That's what we do. I love basketball. Talk basketball. Check me out eventually on the Outlet Pass when I figure all this stuff out. Get a situation that works for me. It's all about life. Make life work for you, and you don't work for it. So, on to the next man.
I bet.
I guess that comes to me. It's Dwa Vocals for one more month, and what's today? 1 more month and 2 days. Dwa Vocals is still around. Rebrand coming soon.
God.
I don't even know who I am anymore. My name
I
is
don't
Steven.
either.
Yo, the rebrand's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be nasty.
So rebrand like free, rebrand like Kyrie #. That's gonna be my new lifestyle.
Okay, all right.
Welcome.
All right, saving the best for last. I'm Keith, host of the Liberation Podcast. I'm going to be your next politician in the future, your favorite corrupt politician in the future. So, awesome here.
Yeah, I am running for mayor. I forgot to add that. I'm running for mayor.
The only city you run for mayor for is Newark. So,
Yeah,
Newark
really.
or Jersey City.
Jersey City. No, you can't get to Jersey City.
What about Inglewood, New Jersey?
We can do
Nah,
that.
that's too small.
Introduce corruption to a new place.
Oh,
I need to get
more.
Oh,
Look at the
wow.
hat.
Hey.
You got a stain on your hat, Marcus, bro.
Marcus, introduce yourself since you just came on our podcast. I don't think you can hear us.
Nah, he's trying to figure out what place his team is going to be in the play-in tournament.
Yeah. Yep. Here he goes.
Let's get started, man.
Yeah.
Let's get this go.
Okay, so real quick before we get into that, one of the hills that I saw was a YouTube clip about whether or not Mr. Kyrie Irving, one of Steven's rebrand goals, or whether or not he was the most skilled basketball player of all time.
What?
All time?
All time?
Kyrie Irving? You might as well go on to the next one, man.
All time?
Ain't nobody got nothing for you on that one, bro.
Listen.
Somebody start watching. Like,
listen,
what?
I'm not gonna say Kyrie isn't one of the most, because he is one of the most skilled basketball players of all time. He is not number one. I don't even know who I would put at number one, but it's definitely not Kyrie.
Yeah, I think for someone with like not a lot of
he's
natural athleticism,
crazy.
in terms of skill, like shit that he had to work on, he's certainly up there. Versus,
I don't think it's as crazy as everyone dismissed. Like, just
is he the most skilled player on his team right now?
No, he's
no.
not.
And
So
then
that-
that would be the question,
But
Kevin.
I was gonna say, if I had to say who the most skilled basketball player I ever saw was, I would say it's James Harden.
Or
Just
Harden.
off.
I was going to say James Harden just off the strength of he's not athletic.
Yeah.
He does nothing
Mhm.
flashy. He gets from point A to point B. On some real shit, I'll make Paul Pierce more skilled player than Kyrie Irving.
No, you're wild. No, you're wild.
Oof, I don't know. Actually, this
Yeah,
guy here is
Shout out to Paul Pierce.
Shout out to Paul Pierce, Hall of Fame though. But that was a wild.
Yeah.
That's a wild statement. That's a wild hill.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, listen. The thing I love about Paul Pierce is Paul Pierce gets from point A to point B. You could try to stop him if you want, but you're not going to. He's going to get what he needs to get done, and he's going to do it. He does it very well.
We're not talking about basketball player though. We're talking about just skill. Like for example, a person who we mentioned earlier. I think Ish Smith. Like if you just watch Ish Smith, like
what are we talking about? Maybe
skill where it's like literally like
you're putting Ish Smith in this category.
that's
no, I'm not putting him in there. You didn't even let me finish. You guys stop.
Right.
Like I think Ish Smith is one of the most skilled basketball players. Like if we were just like literally running drills, like you would watch him and be like, this dude is crazy good at basketball. But once you add in all the other things into an equation of becoming a basketball player, like there's a lot of people who are super skilled basketball players who will never, make it to the NBA. JJ Redick is another person I put on the list of one of the most skilled basketball players in the league, where if you just watch him run around screens, like if you're like really hype off that, like a basketball screen purist, it's amazing to watch. Like Rip Hamilton from the previous generation was another dude who was like the best off-ball screen guy ever. Like there's certain basketball skills, but I don't want to take Chris Paul.
Running off screens is skill.
So wait, John.
John,
okay.
if you're not going to put your face on here, like,
what's good, everybody?
Hey, you might
So
have hit
John,
that red button.
the question before you came on was there was a clip on YouTube about Kyrie being the most skilled basketball player of all time, and that's what we were discussing.
That's a fair statement. I just don't understand why running around screens is his major skill.
I don't know about that, but I think
that's something that JJ Redick has perfected. It's definitely skill. Like Reggie Miller's known for that. Like
Duncan Robinson perfected that, so he's one of the most skilled players.
And that's why he's in the NBA. No,
I think you have to differentiate between it being like that individual skill.
I was literally just talking about an individual skill, John. I wasn't saying that skill is more valuable than other skills. I'm just talking about something that is a skill that has nothing to do with your athleticism, your size, your basketball IQ. It's just like literally like basketball drills.
So for clarification, with that statement of Kyrie, we're basically saying that the amount he's skilled at so many things that it makes him one of the most skilled.
Yes, that's all we're saying. Like or at least that's how I interpret it.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Sorry. So this was because I had it in my notes, but I didn't. So I just clicked on it. This was said on I guess they have a podcast. I don't know. Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert's podcast. They were talking about this. Karis is talking about his time in Brooklyn.
John just brought up Karis.
And how he learned so much being around Kyrie and KD when he was there. And then I think Duncan Robinson was actually the one who said the Kyrie being the most skilled, and then they kind of went from there.
I mean, and this is not to take away from Kyrie's game, but like I just don't see it as much as confidently as I guess Duncan Robinson seeing it or Karis LeVert seeing it. I do think he's very skilled, but then like I think it would work better if you just said in the NBA. But like even off the top of the head, I'm literally like he's not even top. Like KD's more skilled than him. James Harden was skilled than him.
But why?
Why is KD more skilled?
Yeah. Why?
So I personally think that KD has the ability to do more, and maybe I need to truly understand this whole skill thing.
And that's what I was trying to. Yeah, that's all. I feel like when you're saying like, and that's let me just stop you. I don't mean to be rude. Like I'm little like when I talk about skill or how I interpret it, because. For example, when you said Paul Pierce earlier, like I think Paul Pierce is really good at basketball. I think he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best, like savviest basketball players, like all time. Like he's very savvy. But I don't think if you were watching him run through drills, like you'd be like, this dude is, like he's like shooting the gym out. Like he didn't have crazy ball handling. Like he was just really good at angles.
That
what I'm saying. Like it depends.
From that question, though, I would just say Kai would be just because like there's literally nothing Kai can't do.
Literally, and he's not athletic.
Like any offensive skill that you can think of, Kyrie can do at the highest level, easily.
And I think KD can too, and I think he's better at some of those skills as well.
I don't think KD has better handle than Kai.
No. I'm not saying he's better at each one individually.
I mean, it's close enough between handles, but there are things like you can get into shooting or defense, or some things like other skills where it's like KD probably has an advantage over him.
Irving plays defense.
Yeah, no,
but defense is tough because size is a major factor when it comes to defense in the NBA.
But size in general is a major thing in terms of this. Like I think when you say this about Kyrie, I think part of what you're saying is that you're not really viewing everybody equally. KD's a 7-footer. Even Paul Pierce is 6'6", 6'7". Like Kyrie, basically for a 6'2" point guard, you got to either be crazy athletic or have all this other stuff going for you. He doesn't have that. And so he built the skill to be able to make do with his handle and all that, to be able to compensate for that. And it's got him where, it's gotten him. So I think
just want to throw
that's what's kind of going around it.
Because I don't want us to like keep going back and forth on the skill versus whatever conversation. Yeah. But Duncan Robinson, if you just watch him play basketball, he's an amazing basketball player. He's just so white and so unathletic. But like it should like where he is in basketball like is incredible. Like,
and shout out to him. I think he started like a D3 school and then
Williams College.
You can just tell
he's so
Michigan. That kid is just so good at basketball.
Yeah.
But sometimes that doesn't translate to you being the best NBA player. Like
so real quick.
I think that's why people hate on Russell Westbrook, because people think he's not skilled.
Stop right there. Thank you. So if we're going to go into saying size changes things, let's put Kyrie in.
We didn't say that. No one said that. No one said that.
No. Ty said size is a big factor in this conversation.
It can be.
But Ty was saying the fact that Kyrie doesn't have the size. He has to be so skilled to match the athleticism and size of a KD or Russell Westbrook.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. I think Russell Westbrook. I think Steph Curry. I damn near think, who else can I'll just leave those two for right now, are more skilled. Dame Lillard are more skilled than Kyrie.
There's an argument with Steph.
I think Steph and Chris Paul are the only two people I think can
and Chris Paul. I'm gonna throw Chris Paul in that too.
Chris Paul is the one.
Can touch Kyrie when it comes to skill. Like, how I always argue the Kyle Lowry, Chris Paul thing. Like, Chris Paul is 10 times more skilled than Kyle Lowry. And that's why I'm such a Kyle Lowry fan, because he does so many little things to elevate his lack of skill. Like, he's really good at angles and using his body. Like, but once again, we don't need to get into a big
this is a good
basketball purist conversation.
This is a good start.
I think Kyrie sucks, but we can move on.
Ooh. They have the last word on that.
Well,
I'm gonna end it right there. That's all I gotta say. I think he sucks.
Kyrie Irving is my favorite part-time employee, so shout out to him.
Yeah,
the thing with Kai, just on that note too, is like I think he can do both. I mean, I'm not him, so I can't speak for him. But I think it's him having this platform that he should use the platform to talk about all these other things that's important,
like the Earth being flat.
Like, all the humanitarian stuff he's doing.
I have to talk about the Earth being flat in years.
I think he's kind of viewing it like it has to be one or the other, and I think the only reason people are listening is because he has the platform of an NBA player. He's on basically one of the hottest teams, so I think he should keep this and continue to use that platform to talk about stuff. But that was me being serious for 3 seconds.
I have a hill. This is something that Gus kind of inspired today.
Oh my God! It's about Kyrie. I don't feel like talking about it.
This might
Lala Anthony's eye.
The fact that Marcus saw that, it's like,
yeah, right.
This is a hill. I think that the WNBA.
Oh, no. Come on, man.
They're marketing the wrong women. And because everyone said, "Oh man, I'm nervous to continue my thought."
Just leave it there, bro.
This is a safe place, right? This is a safe place.
Something else.
This is a safe place.
What you want them to market the Taya Coopers of the?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
put them on commercials.
Whatever.
No.
Yeah, the
Put them
girl.
on commercials, dog.
Yeah, they
Like,
should do that and also market like the gambling aspect of it as well too. Like gamble on the WNBA games and just have like I don't know Candace Park in the background, something like that.
It's like lingerie football. Like
no.
Now you're taking now Ty's getting us canceled.
Disrespectful, Ty.
It's over.
Now it's nasty, Ty.
Yeah, Ty. That was crossing the line.
That's not my hill.
These girls are skilled. These girls are skilled basketball players. But what I'm saying is, when you have the face of the league, like I'm trying to think of someone on the other end who like the NBA who really isn't that good. I'm trying to think of an equivalent.
Kyrie.
Isn't really that good, but gets marketed because they fit a certain build. Like off my top of my head,
you can make any white NBA player.
You can do that too, yeah. Where it's like those guys are marketable, so you push them a little more. Like Luka's so skilled, so I don't want to say Luka.
I was going to say Luka.
He fits a certain type of look that is easily marketable. He's really good at basketball. So it's like that. So yeah, I'm gonna push him more than I'm gonna push a Dame Lillard or I don't know.
Not the skill conversation, but I think that's been a conversation we've had about Steph getting the push over LeBron and stuff like that because he's more palatable to sort of.
I think the WNBA. I don't know who the equivalent is. But there's a lot of attractive women in the WNBA. If she's really good at basketball, couple that together, and I guarantee you, people like attractive people. Women like attractive people.
Sex sells.
Yeah. And it's not even just selling sex. Like women, even they're straight women, like being around other straight women that are beautiful. They like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're easily marketable. Like beautiful people are marketable.
And when I say sex sells, I'm just literally talking about the eye. You know what I'm saying? The eye test. And the eye test, like you said, is just beautiful women. For about 3 years, they had Brittany Griner as the face of the WNBA. And I don't know how many of you guys know what Brittany Griner looks like, but I don't think that's who you really want to be marketing to get people like me to watch the game. So
it's not even like you getting other women to watch the game.
Well,
Skylar Diggins-Smith is a much easier sell. It doesn't on that team alone.
That was a perfect example. Like, I don't know.
Let's look at her.
I don't know if Skylar was the best basketball player in the league ever, but she's attractive.
She will make me watch. Like I've probably watched the game.
Y'all liars.
I actually not.
Wait, guys, be careful. Be careful what you guys say, because John can say whatever, because his face is not here. So he's saying.
I'm just.
John's a coward.
Y'all just lying.
Who lying about? Who's lying?
It could be you could put Kim K in the WNBA and be your spokesperson. You're not watching the games.
How sure?
You're not sitting there watching the WNBA season. That's not your style of basketball. I know you're not. Y'all not gonna go watch Stephen Curry and Zion Wilson do 360s to and that's no disrespect, but y'all not doing that.
Are you
wouldn't bet on the game?
What?
You wouldn't bet on the game?
I bet on anything. I bet on hockey. I've never seen a hockey game in my life. What does that mean?
Okay.
I bet on a WNBA game now. I'll never watch it.
Okay.
I bet baseball and watch baseball.
John, but regardless,
you watch sports, John?
I watch a lot. I watch a lot of sports, but those hockey's whack. I'll bet on hockey any day of the week. If I know a nigga gonna win, I know a nigga gonna win. That got nothing to do with me watching the sport.
I think that at the end of the
day, can you just imagine John in these marketing meetings with the WNBA? Like, niggas ain't watching this shit anyway.
John's not finishing out the probation period.
There does need to be a change in the marketing, but just saying putting pretty women or prettier women that are in the league on there is going to help viewership is ridiculous.
No, I think I genuinely think
that wasn't the blanket statement. I said they need to market those people because I'm going to watch a New York Liberty game, not because Sabrina was shooting shots off the backboard and putting up 20 plus points. It's because Gus put this bad piece on the joint. I'm going to watch. I want to see if she's good at basketball.
You're going to watch her Twitter highlights and maybe a half of a game. at best.
That's more than
I'm about to say that's more than they was
Yeah.
getting.
I'm watching.
Yeah, that's more than what they're
But
getting.
don't do the WNBA like that. That's foul.
So
Like,
what
they
do
do
you
have
do?
their own foul.
What do you do?
They
What are
do
you
that
doing
in
for the
all the
WNBA?
sports, though.
So what would make you watch, John?
No, but I don't think they're looking to get me or you.
They
They're
are.
No,
They are. They're
I
trying to
said
get
it's
in.
not for. I also said it's not just for us, dog.
John,
It's
put your
for-
camera on
it's
so that we
to-
can all see you.
It's
Soon,
also to
soon.
promote to women, like other, and I use the example that women like attractive women. Like women pick friends just because girls are pretty.
No,
like,
but yeah,
it's
in a
literally-
general sense, those things may be correct. That's fine. But I just because attractive, for the most part, even at like what you think they're Giannis. Well, LeBron's not a good looking nigga. Like, no offense, like LeBron's not the greatest guy in the world.
Getting weird.
Maybe, like Steph
All
is
right.
way more like.
So what
I guess,
nigga's a good looking nigga in the NBA? Who should they mark?
All right, who's
No,
the best looking
I don't
NBA
mean-
guy
I
right
had
now?
this written down too.
No. I don't mean perfect.
Explain to me who they should market. John.
I mean, by general standards, as you said, like you guys alluded to it with Steph Curry.
John is
In
tall,
general
dark, and
standards-
handsome. By general standards, he fits what women are attracted to. He's 6'8". Do you know how many 6'8" niggas get women and they're just
God.
6'8"? You've been living off being tall your whole life, John. How dare you talk down on fucking
There's a
LeBron?
lot. This is a lot of personal things that just
This
came
got
out.
personal very fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
damn, that hurt me.
John's trying to call LeBron James ugly, but won't tell us who he thinks is attractive. How dare you?
No, my point is
Until
ultimately.
I asked you if you had the fucking unlimited thing.
Yeah, I just did it.
Okay.
You would know, John, if you had your video on.
Oh, my fault.
all good.
Nonetheless, ultimately, the WNBA does need a new marketing strategy. Maybe putting some prettier women may help slightly, but I think they have a bigger problem than that.
What's the bigger problem, sir?
So actually,
Are you trying to say they should lower the hoop, John?
No,
John, do you think they should lower the hoop?
Did you just say they can't make a layup?
No, but I would like to see, I like to see more girls fall because she got crossed over. I would like to see a girl do some Steph Curry shit. Maybe I might watch her play.
They do
Do
Steph
that
Curry.
shit all
They
the
were just doing
time.
that yesterday.
They do that. I can tell you for that for facts. They
That's
be
all they do
cooking.
is shoot.
Sabrina Ionescu for one. Who
He
just
knows
joined
how
the
to
Liberty.
pronounce her name and everything.
wait. So
Yo,
I was
John,
gonna.
you're
he's a
proving
fan.
my point about why they need more attractive women, bro. Because they skill wise, those women are very skilled. They can't dunk, but they be crossing people over. They be netting threes. They do everything other than the athleticism that the NBA does.
I was gonna say this.
They're
Go ahead,
very
Ty.
skilled.
No, well,
So
then
I was
they
gonna-
gotta show me better. Like
They
gotta
show
market-
it. You just
Yeah,
are
yeah,
looking.
It sounds like you
Hold
have
on,
to
hold on.
watch.
So
You're not watching.
I think a lot of what we're talking about. So, what do you all think
John being fucking racist.
is the thing that the women's national soccer team did or were successful at that should or needs to transfer over to the WNBA? Because I will say that the women's soccer team got all the
That's a
attention.
better product.
Yeah, I
They
think
also
the
captured
product
people.
needs to be better.
They captured people young too. Like the U.S. women's national team has been a fixture since like the mid '90s, and like have inspired a bunch of people to pick up the
Like Mia
sport
Hamm and shit.
for like 20 years, like 20, 30 years almost. WNBA, is still, or women's basketball is still very new. It's also much blacker than women's soccer.
That is true. That is true.
Like it's harder to sell, Lisa Leslie versus Mia Hamm for whatever reason.
Fair.
But
That's fair.
I think that was one of the biggest issues. I mean, now it would be what? I don't even know who's like the big women's soccer player now. It would be like Breonna Stewart, would be like, or Sabrina
Yeah, I don't
even.
know either.
Those would be your women.
but-
Those would be the people that you're trying to get other people to
I
watch.
think
I see
Sabrina
her
would be
face.
is good marketing. She's out here taking pictures with Lala and shit. Like,
she is.
I think maybe she'll do well.
No, so I think what the WNBA has to do is, and rest in peace to my guy, but they have to take advantage of the relationship that Sabrina had with Kobe, right? So Sabrina had this very strong relationship that was very clear. And I'm not saying, exploit it and she just need to bring up Kobe every 5 seconds, but it does need to be a situation where, hey, Sabrina, you're now the face of the WNBA and you need to be balling on everybody. You need to have the Mamba mentality on everybody. You need to be doing stuff that we need to be putting highlights of you every single night up.
That's my.
I don't even think it's the highlight thing.
But hold on,
Like,
hold on.
Do you think? Wait,
hold on one
do you
second,
think
one second.
they put it in
Hold
New
on.
York for a reason? That's that reason.
Hold on, I got you. So what I was gonna say was, it's not just a highlight. You're 100% right. It's not just a highlight. I do agree with Dwa that you have to market. At the end of the day, when I said sex sells, it's all about not literally just like, oh, they got to be naked. Nah, but it just has to be a good look on the eye. That's men. That's just how men think, especially when it comes to women's sports.
So I have a question.
But it is what it is. They need to figure out how to combine those two and make it a situation where Sabrina's the face and she's the best player in the WNBA. But because they also got people like Diana Taurasi, who's been around for like 17 years and she's still balling.
That Mercury squad is loaded as fuck.
Bro, I watched more of her games in those 4 years that she was at UConn and she's been in the league. I thought she retired. I thought she was like 50 by now.
I thought she retired.
So but Gus kind of loses my point, right? So for instance, when it comes to women's soccer, I like women's soccer games. Those are actually good ass games to watch just visually.
What's the last time you watched women's soccer, nigga?
When they were killing shit.
Don't do that. Like when it's on TV, I watch it.
I'm asking John, bro. I'm not asking Marcus, bro.
No, I'm asking, like, are you watching the national team or are you actually watching the professional league that women have in the States?
Guys, let's stop this real quick. Did this nigga just check in at the Sixers game, bro?
Yes.
That's a different type of flex, bro.
Is your feet on the woods? Is your feet on the woods? You gotta show us the feet.
You gotta show us some game. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, I was talking about a totally different game.
That's a crazy flex.
He's at the Sixers game, bro.
This is
That's
dope
what I
shit.
said. The Sixers game.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
I think he said what game?
It's mad lit out here, yo.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Love to see it.
Back to what we said, John. I hear what you're saying, bro. I think that they do need to market, you know what I'm saying, the highlights a little bit more. It's just that I think that they really have to figure out what avenue they want to get to first. The reality is women's soccer, also keep in mind, soccer is a worldwide sport. Basketball is a worldwide sport, but women's basketball is not a worldwide sport.
Women's sports.
Women's soccer?
Women in general, but then let alone.
Oh no, that's actually wrong. That's actually wrong. That's wrong.
Because
women's basketball is bigger than women's
soccer?
Basketball internationally is bigger than women's what's it called, soccer, because in America it seems that way because we want our women to play sports. In other countries, Africa don't want that shit. The Asian countries know it's like Europe. That's the reason why US was able to.
Oh wait, I have a toxic question. Well,
hold on, wait, real quick, Ty, real quick about that. All right, so that means that would basically cancel out basketball and soccer, correct? Well, now look at the Olympics. And if you're trying to tell me that women's basketball is more competitive than women's soccer, you crazy as hell.
I don't think it's that crazy of a statement because if you look at a lot of these women's
women's
profiles,
soccer internationally is mad.
For the WNBA, like they are playing like most of their games overseas and like in Russia or China. So it is pretty big like over there and overseas.
And they're winning by 75.
Yeah, they make money.
Well, so they're making money overseas.
They make more money overseas than they do over here.
On this marketing
That's
question.
true too.
So I mean, let's lean in a little bit to what let's lean in a little bit. Do you think that the Taya Coopers or just other attractive women's basketball players, should they be like on the shade room, or should they lean in a little bit more to like that type of thing to get more
the shade room
like the black market?
If you're trying to get black women to start paying attention, because I feel like that's what keeps getting lost in this conversation. Is I'm not only saying we're selling this to men.
So, okay, I
think attractive. No, I think attractive women are actually going to sell to women more, like especially black women, more than it will to black men, because black women are all on this black women empowerment thing. This touches on when I think it was Marcus who said it. It's harder to sell Lisa Leslie to white women than Mia Hamm. We should be selling this to straight black women. And black women should be liking the WNBA. That's going to be the selling point, because at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to sell the WNBA night after night to a nigga like me.
Yeah, to men. Yeah,
there's nothing that's gonna happen. I watch it.
I agree with that.
I respect it because I love the skill of basketball, but I need niggas to get fouled. I just need that athleticism to the sport. That's the same reason why I don't watch I don't even like watching college basketball, because then I don't really respect how they, you know what I'm saying? That's just me personally.
Oh, this nigga is ugly. I would cut my video off too.
You gotta sell it to black women.
Okay, yeah, and I think Kim Mulkey just got in trouble a little bit because she was saying that Brittany Griner should stay in the closet while she was at Baylor, And I mean, cool, you could say whatever you want about that. I don't really care about that. But I do think to that point, if there was more of a perception that women basketball players are, I don't care what their sexuality is, but that they're in the Black culture, that, they can go out here and twerk on Instagram Live and take these like thirst trap pictures, then I think that like kind of closes that. But
this is the toxic take you want to get off?
You're taking it to a place we're not there yet.
No, I think Ty right. Yo, I think
thank you.
Ty, this is how you know you're on the wrong end of history.
No, two things. No, seriously though, two things I think
that's just really, what we were just saying though.
Two things I really think are gonna
help.
Why
do they have to twerk, bro? Why do they have to twerk?
No, I'm not saying that they have to twerk, but I'm saying like I said, the shade room. Like, I mean, what do we think? What's the shade room about?
Not twerking.
Everything.
But like, what do they have to be in to be within that?
You think it's just a bunch of people twerking?
No, I'm not saying that that's what it is, but they like
this nigga Ty trying to have a wet t-shirt concert with WNBA basketball players in the shade. What the hell is this guy's problem?
No, but I think
this is getting toxic.
That's not it. But
I think what's gonna happen, which I think what the WNBA did during the George Floyd and everything like that for criminal justice and all the Black Lives Matter stuff is gonna help them a lot. And some of them that are taking the thirst trap pics that are starting to go viral. That's gonna help a lot. Like at least with the WNBA, the women can do what they do because they're gonna take those pictures anyway, right? It's not like they're doing it purpose. Like they're just women that do what women are doing. That's gonna help though. That's a lot of visibility for women that people probably don't even know exist that are nice at ball.
Sorry, let me clean it up.
So John, so now you're agreeing to my original point. So now you're coming back and you're saying attractive women are gonna help the game.
They should go to the cool clubs. No, we're all saying the same thing. They should go to all the like if
you were talking about wet t-shirt contest.
Whatever, it's fine.
No. I think one thing I will say is though I do agree. It's just a sense of if they really want to market themselves and they really want to be a name, they're going to have to put themselves out there. I think Tia Cooper, once she went viral, she's been taking full advantage. Now I don't know her stats, but I don't think she's pretty. She's obviously good at basketball. I don't think she does that well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think she really get ticked for real. But
I mean, she was on the first team all rookie team last year. And the only reason I know that is because she's fired.
All right. So let's just, and I say this with all due respect, is there really a lot of good rookies in the WNBA?
She averaged 7 points per game last year.
Like I
with
said,
1 rebound and 2 assists. So
thank you, Marcus.
Is that a lot in the WNBA? I don't know.
That's true.
That is not. She played 17 minutes a game.
Problem.
She did not make that big of a
what's
of
the
an
next
impression.
topic?
Yo, can we get out of here?
Yeah, she doesn't really help us.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Everything went left. Everything went left when Ty brought in twerking. That's what everything went left. I was like,
the wet t-shirt contest. This nigga is nasty, man.
All right, the play-in game. All right, so that was hilarious. All right, so basically the NBA play. So okay, I think one of the things about the play-in schedule is, like LeBron, I'm also here to kill it completely until I see the matchups and I get excited about the matchups, and then like I forget that it's a really stupidly put together type of tournament. So basically,
why do you think it's stupid though? Like,
I disagree with that.
I think it's great, but
yeah,
I think it's great. I think it's great because we're gonna get good matchups. But I think
I want to know why you guys think it's great, because I haven't talked to anyone who thought it was great.
So it's okay. So let me just explain for people who don't know. So basically, the top 6 teams in each conference are automatically in. 7 through 10 are in sort of the play-in, bubble tournament. The 7 and the 8 seed play each other. The winner of that is automatically the 7 seed. The 9 and the 10 play each other, and the loser of that game is out. The winner of the loser of 7-8 and the winner of 9-10 play each other, and the winner of that is now the 8 seed. I think it's one of those things that, and the guy I was saying in pre-production, I guess one of the dudes who was like really big into figuring this whole thing out and making it was on like a podcast, and they were talking about LeBron talking out about it, and they were like, well, we knew whoever was going to be in it was not going to be too pleased about it.
Right.
And I was saying, so again, we're recording this. I think the games just started for the Blazers and the Lakers, but that's going to decide who is in the 6th seed and who's in the 7th seed in the West. But if we get Lakers, if the Blazers win, we get Lakers at 7 and Warriors at 8, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. Like LeBron versus Steph, one game to like that person's in, and then the loser has to like stave off elimination. Like, I don't care how bad it is.
Can I tell you
like,
one thing? One thing
game.
about that, Ty.
Yeah,
I think the NBA is really big, and Nick Wright in the media, like kind of like highlighted that recently. Once again, I've been watching basketball, but the NBA is really big on gatekeeping history. So it's like, let's say, for example, I mean, I'm all for the Lakers losing this playing game, as you can like. I just think it'd be hilarious. But if the Lakers find a way to lose this game, right, and then the Warriors go get swept in the next round, like, do you understand? Like, that's bad for business. That's bad for business. We lost 1 year, LeBron. The Warriors are in a position where, because anyone in the NBA can go beat a team one time. That's the reason why there's 7-game series. So it's like the Warriors can, like, who would it be? So the 7th seed, they would play the Suns if the Jazz win tonight. So Suns go out and blow out the Warriors in 4. Like, that's one that ruins one first round matchup, because clearly the better matchup would be Suns Lakers.
Yeah, like, but that's all. I think ultimately, I think it's a good idea because the last couple, like for instance, like today's game matters with Portland and LA. When's the last time a last day game for anyone's ever cared?
Exactly. Like, very NFL type thing, yeah.
And then on top of that,
why aren't y'all watching it?
And then on top of that,
we're doing this.
And on top of that,
we could have scheduled that.
The guy that doesn't watch NBA.
I'm actually y'all niggas. I start watching the NBA when the playoffs start, so I will be tuned into the playing game.
But even still, I think even with the playing games, right? You're right. We're programmed for NBA to do series, right? But we love the NFL for that one and done style. I'm not mad at the NBA trying to just, at least for those early games, kind of taking that idea, because mad people are going to watch. They're probably going to have more viewership in these playing games than they are in the first round of the playoffs.
They should just make go soccer style and just have cups and just do playing games, like, everyone play in for the playoffs.
That's what they were talking about doing. They want to do cups like throughout the season to kind of generate more interest in regular season games, but
they're also doing like mid-season tournaments as well. I think that was being discussed.
Yeah, it's come up a couple of times, but nothing's been finalized. And I think COVID kind of delayed those plans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, for me, I like to play in tournament, right? I think that the only reason why this year by people I mean LeBron, is speaking out on it is because he's in it. Had he played in it, and this is, I'm so serious when I say this, right? So this is what, if it were all to end right now, Memphis and San Antonio would be out. Okay, so Memphis and San Antonio would not make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what would end up happening next week. LeBron would have tweeted, "Oh man, Ja Morant killed it this year. I really wish Memphis was in the playoffs." So it's like
that is a LeBron James tweet.
So it's kind of like, bro, like, yes, on one hand,
do you tweet for LeBron?
Yeah, it's the LeBron.
on one hand,
are you the man behind the account?
On one hand, it's like, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. Like, I can understand how it's annoying, because it's also like, wow, we get one extra game, but it's literally just one extra game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's one extra game to secure your spot? Because at the end of the day, if you're in 7, 8, 9, or 10, I mean, it's a debatable statement, but at the end of the day, you were on the verge. You shouldn't have really 100% made the playoffs anyway.
No, that's a fact.
If you're that close.
For most cases, those 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds are usually within 5 games anyway.
Right. And and personally, and to speak on that, John, honestly, if I would have tried to figure out a way to do something similar to kind of how they did in the bubble.
The bubble. I thought it was, and I was fine with it.
Yeah. I think the play-in tournament, I like it, but when I'm even looking at this, right? So you got Portland and the Lakers are, one of them is going to be the 7th seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is going to be the 6th seed. But then I look at the fifth seed. The fifth seed only beating those teams by one game, and that's Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, if I'm being real, I got Portland and the Lakers beating Dallas in a 7-game series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then now the East. Now when I look at the East, that's a completely different situation because you got Boston at 7, and then at 6, you got they're 3 games ahead. So there's a much bigger separation between those teams. So that's a little different. So Celtics, they should be in that 7th place and they should be in that play-in tournament. And I do like it because it gives more teams the opportunity. And not only does it give more teams the opportunity, but now we're ready for playoff basketball. And it's like it's starting early. It's good for content.
It is, and it is playoff. It is playoff field too. So like that in the East, 7 and 8 is C's, Celtics, Wizards. I mean, you think fucking Russ be out here putting up triple doubles? Like he's gonna wild out like that. That's a really good. That's what I'm saying. The matchups, like, and so I think what the NBA is thinking is like, hey, like, cool. What they don't care about the play-in teams and what they do in the playoffs. They're just trying to make really compelling games at the end of the season that matter.
Stop. So it's not just that though. It's not just that. I think they want to. It's not just that.
Wow. And the thing is, I just saw it on my phone. I was going to say something, but I had just said Kyrie sucks, so I couldn't say anything. But I will publicly say I respect nothing. That's very respectable. So
that is.
I
mean, congrats to Kyrie Irving.
20.
Congrats to Kyrie Irving.
No, it's very good. I've said that a couple times now. Good for him. But no, I was saying it's not just that though. It's I think they also wanted tanking was a big part of this playing thing too, because they didn't want teams to get to like the last month of the season and just stop playing guys. They wanted those games to matter for more teams. So like we've had, New Orleans Pelicans and the Chicago Bulls are 2 teams that come to mind that kind of fell out of the playoff race late, but their games mattered more. So you had, the top 12, 13 teams in each conference having to play meaningful games up until, this last week, which, in the past, those teams are last day even those teams are tanking in the past, who knows if I think of these teams like maybe like the Grizzlies and the Warriors had the same record coming into tonight's game, but the other ones, like, would they have even cared? Would the Lakers, like, do they care if they're playing as the 7th seed or the 6th seed?
Well, no, Warriors up a game. Warriors up 1 game on Memphis.
Oh, they do now because they just beat them today. But coming into the game, they had the same record.
Right, got you.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Marcus.
The Lakers want to be the 6th seed. So I mean, they're rooting for it's like week 17 of the NFL season. Like you want to win, but then you're rooting for these things to happen in your favor. I mean, off of LeBron's comments, clearly he wants to already be in. So he wants to win and he wants to lose.
He shouldn't have rested.
But that's what I think this is going to do, where I think teams are going to be a little more, if they do this permanently. This isn't a permanent thing just yet.
It is. We're gonna be doing.
They said they were still figuring it out, but I think it's gonna wind up being it if they see that this is like the numbers are good.
You just brought up a good point, and I'll be real with you. I think this went into this decision, and I've never thought about this. Maybe y'all have, maybe it's just me, but this genuinely does stop the whole tanking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this does not give you that opportunity to say, what?
They got to add to stop tanking. They'd have to add the what's it called?
Well, no, listen.
4 and 5 seed into it too.
Imagine this, right? So the Lakers lose, right? So they lose to the Suns. They fuck around. They lose to Memphis or Spurs, and they don't make the playoffs, right? People are going to be trying to figure out why. Now, LeBron was hurt, but you can't tell me some of those he ain't tanked. Some of those he didn't just rest.
Low manage.
Or whatever the case is.
I thought LeBron's against resting.
They all say that, but you throw some time. He started up here. He said, look, we just going to make the playoffs. All I need you to do is make the playoffs. I'll take it from there.
Can we name this after Kawhi Leonard then? Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, if the Kawhi is in that 7th spot.
In that NBA Finals.
When he was in the Raptors and he just rested forever. And was like,
and that's what I'm saying. You got to get rid of that. So the only way to get rid of that is, because like you got
this is a league that has a lottery for their draft. Like they are very much a league that's not about tanking. And I think what this is going to do moving forward, if they continue this, which I think they are and probably should, is that teams are going to get to the end of the season and they're going to be like, yo, I need to get at least 6th because I'm not trying to be in the play-in.
Question. I just thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Celtics lose, right? They're gonna be in the lottery.
Thought the Celtics were already in the lottery.
Yes.
That's
bro,
nuts.
I'll be real with you, bro.
That just adds a whole nother element. If I'm the Celtics, I'm not trying. Fuck making the fuck making the playoffs. Fuck making the playoffs. Jaylen Brown's hurt. Let's lose this playing game. Fuck it. Now we're in the lottery. We can get the number 1 pick next year. That just changes it for those middle level teams.
That's a good point, though. Real quick about injuries, and I think this is going to change the way teams look at injuries and how they play it because of things like this too. Where I mean, you look at it and it's like, yo, should we go for this? Because I think basically AC might think about that beforehand, but now anybody in the playing game is kind of thinking about that. And so it's like, if I can be in this, try, still lose, and still be in a lottery, like, all right, we can punt on this season and like it's fine, especially if it's one game. So
this play-in is very, I mean, honestly, like I think we're all kind of going off of speculation. We have no idea what it's going to look like, because you have to think about it. Like Dwight just said, some people, I know for a fact there's at least 1 or 2 of these teams that's like, look, we just going to play this game. We really don't care.
The Spurs don't have a reason to, like, the 10 seeds don't have a reason to care.
The Spurs literally suck. Like, I don't know why they're there. Now the East, the 10 seed
in the East. Is it the Hornets or the Wizards?
The Hornets.
The Hornets.
Okay. And I like the Hornets. I like the East playing. I really wish that.
Wait, who's the 9 in East?
Indiana.
Pacers, yeah.
Who I never think is a great team, but they just play good team basketball. Like,
they've been injured too.
Yeah, they have.
I mean, the Pacers games be like in the 300s over unders, like they be wilding.
Yeah, no,
like 165 to 155. I was like, I'm not watching this shit no more, man. Put on baseball.
So what do we think is gonna happen? So in the East we have the Celtics and the Wizards. Any predictions there?
Wizards coming out, and they about to give Brooklyn work.
I think the Wizards are like,
I think the
Wizards on a tear. Yeah,
and the Celtics are really disappointed me. So in our group chat, I asked our 2 Celtics fans in there if they wanted Brad back, because there was a big bit about Brad Stevens had got offered.
Brad Wanamaker? Oh, Brad
Stevens. The coach got offered on Indiana, a big Indiana contract to go there, and he said no.
The university or like the NBA?
University of Indiana.
University,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Indiana University. I don't know which they are.
North Carolina was looking at him too, apparently.
Yeah. And he said no. And I can understand that, just what the college game entails. But I mean, if you're maybe about to lose your job, you might have to think about that a little bit more.
Is he on the hot seat?
That's a question for here.
I think he has another year to figure it out.
Because my thing is, I feel like if you're gonna let Brad go, you gotta let Ainge go too.
Yeah.
I'm big dicey on.
I think Brad and Ainge are tied. I think they're connected. As long as Ainge is there, I don't see him get rid of, unless like the Celtics just absolutely, especially because the excuse for this year is, well, they were just super injured, right? So unless next year, like the Celtics just completely shit the bed and become like a 10 seed or something ridiculous, and they're still competitive, fighting for like a let's say next year they're fighting for a 5th seed or
being a 7 seed
between 4 and 6.
What were they last year?
But again, third or 4th seed.
Yeah,
but they were so hurt. But they were so hurt this year. Robert Williams not playing. Jaylen Brown's done for the year. Kemba's always on and off.
True.
Like Tatum missed a lot of games early too.
Yeah, like all with Tatum.
It's a new team there without Terry and Gordon.
Yeah. What's her name? And Smart was hurt a lot this season.
Yeah.
So
like Semi though.
Injuries are they're gonna use the injury excuse for a while.
Taco Fall was chilling.
Taco Bell.
Shouts to Peyton Pritchard.
Shout out to Orlando.
Yeah, Taco Bell, my fault.
And the crazy thing about the Celtics is they have a bunch of those type of guards, like those Pritchards, those what's that nigga? The dude from Purdue,
Carson Edwards.
Carson Edwards.
And the kid from
the worst player in the NBA, Semi
Ojeleye is terrible.
So they have like these. Their frontline guys suck outside of like their stars. I think Williams is meh. Ojale's trash. Tristan Thompson's okay. He's cool, I guess. But their backcourt's tough. Like those guards they got is tough. Carson Edwards can come in and give you 20
Yeah, the
on a random
Waters
night.
is good, pretty good.
A lot of guards can give you 20, man.
Yeah, I think I'm back to what we were just talking about. I think overall, I think this year will really tell us a lot about how this play-in tournament is. But I just hope that people, and by people I mean fans, look at it from not a specific situation. So if the Warriors were to beat them, right, to beat the Lakers, and then they go on to play the Suns and they lose,
it's going to happen.
It's
also going to happen.
I hope that people don't look back and say, oh, well, the play-in tournament was a fail. No, I think what it is that the Lakers should just not have put themselves in a position to be the 7th place.
Yeah, teams are gonna think about that a lot more and plan that. Like that's what I meant by like the injury bit. Like they're gonna plan that into their injuries because they're used to saying, "Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs, so cool, take extra rest and
right."
But now they're like, whoa, like we want to make sure we get 6, or we want to make sure we get 7. We want to make sure we're in 7-8, so we win that game. Make sure you're back for that game, then we're automatically in and. You don't got to worry.
I think it's a lot of strategy that goes into it for sure.
Yeah, different strategy for sure.
Guys, I have a hill when you guys are done with your plan.
Well, real quick, I'll even go as far as to say one strategy, possibly, right? If I'm Washington, debatable, and I'm saying this completely unbiased, but if I'm Washington, I damn near lose this game
and play
and go beat
the Sixers.
To play the Sixers instead of playing the Nets.
It's funny. I was thinking that for the Lakers. Like, would you rather play the Suns or would you rather play the Jazz?
Yeah.
Exactly. If I'm the Lakers, I'm fine with losing this first game and I'm playing the Jazz because then
you also get to avoid the Clippers in the second round as well. So you're playing an easier schedule. I think.
That's what I'm saying.
Take that 8th.
Yeah, but again, and I think the fun part about this you risk losing that game, but what happens if another off? Like, what's your off night for real?
Yeah,
right.
What happens?
Can you really flip the switch? Is the question.
Yeah, and like really flip the switch. Because how many times have we seen really good teams kind of just flutter on like a game? LeBron with Miami when the game 7 against what was it?
Dallas.
Yes, they fluttered. Yeah. They just, you know what I'm saying? They clearly were the better team, but they.
And that's what this is supposed to be. Is like that game 7 energy of like it's one game. Go home or advance, like type of energy. But I agree with what Gus and Marcus are saying. Like, I think that's gonna maybe not now because it's brand new, but eventually I think that'll come into the strategy of like, okay, we know we're in the playing game. Who's 1, who's 2, who do we want to play? Let's make sure we got all our guys and we go at it for that. So who do you guys think ends up sort of coming out? I think I could see, based off what you were saying, I could see it being the Wizards maybe let the Celtics win that game, and then they take on whoever wins between the Hornets and
that's dead, bro. That's dead, bro.
You know
the Wizards actually played the Nets really well because the Nets don't play defense.
I was going to say
Wizards and Celtics 7-8.
So personally, I think I gave that example of saying that the Wizards might want to play the Sixers, but that's definitely a dub. Mm-hmm. If I was the Wizards, I would want to play the Nets actually because, like I said, they play them very well because the Wizards have firepower. You don't think they do, but with Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook at point, he makes everybody make baskets. I don't know how, but they clearly get him as assists. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he making Roy Hachimura drop 30 on niggas. So it's like at the end of the day, I think that Washington's going to come out and they're going to be that 7th seed. What do I? They're going to be that 7th seed. And then that 8th seed, honestly, bro, I'm giving it to Charlotte. I think
really.
I think
Charlotte over Boston.
I do think because, and the reason being is because I think
Pacers are gonna make me the 8th seed, bro.
So it's either going, in my personal opinion, it's either going to be Charlotte or the Celtics. I don't think the Pacers are going to do it. I think LaMelo is going to have a big game.
He had a big game. I mean, the Wizards were too much, but he had a big game today.
Yeah, I think LaMelo is going to have a big game, and it's going to be 2 games. I think Indiana. I think they're going to get through Indiana. They're going to ride the wave that they kind of been on. Like they're on that wave where they're not great, but they're definitely not shitty. Like they could be shitty. The 10th seed sucks. It's a terrible seed, but they're really not that bad, in my personal opinion. Wow. And then you got them versus the Celtics. I don't know, man. The Celtics is very shaky this year.
I just don't know if the Hornets are playoff ready yet. It's just a different animal. At least the Celtics they're used to this. Mostly everybody on that team has some type of playoff experience.
But they're gonna rely on Semi Ojeleye to finally make a basket.
Jason Tatum got to have to go for 40.
I feel better about the Hornets if they had Gordon Hayward.
And you know what's crazy about all this?
Like he's someone who would carry them through. I think, especially it'd be fun to having him go against the Celtics after he left them last year. But I don't know if the Hornets have firepower like that unless Scary Terry goes off.
I don't know if the Hornets have somebody when shit gets rough that they can really go get up like 2-3 buckets in a row. In a playoff
that's Rozier.
In a playoff situation though, do I trust Terry gonna give me 2 big buckets in the playoff? I don't know.
Go ask Washington. Go ask Washington Wizards when John Wall was there.
We gonna see
when the Wizards and the Celtics had all that beef.
I mean, I listen. That we talking like 2-3 years ago though. Terry hasn't been that spot since. Terry just dropped 40. It's not to look. Terry's gotten really, really good, and not to knock him. It's just I don't know. I trust the niggas on the Celtics in a very big playoff in 1-game playoff scenario than I do the young.
You haven't watched the Celtics. Those niggas are done.
No, I have. No, but
I
think they get knocked out early.
I think if the Celtics were playing the Bulls without Jaylen Brown, they'd get cooked.
Jaylen Brown,
maybe, but the Bulls are good though.
Bro, they didn't even get the 10th seed.
So, fellas, can y'all speed this up though? I need to get to my hill, which is going to take time.
Yeah, I gotta get
mad. All right, say your playoff playing matchups. Hurry up.
All right. Yeah, so for me, out the East, I already said mine. Out the East, out the West. I mean, I got LA and Golden State coming out. I don't know who's going to be 7 and who's going to be 8, but those 2 teams are the ones coming out.
Golden State 7, LA 8.
Damn, LeBron's gonna be pissed.
He's mad.
He's gonna throw a little temper tantrum.
But I mean, we talk about the We Believe team all the time. I mean, this is, I think, a pretty decent way.
This ain't.
You don't think they're beating the Jazz?
Bro, no. It's not that they're not beating the Jazz. I'm just saying
it's not We Believe.
They're not.
Not that same type, but just an 8 beating a 1. Potentially.
No.
Wait,
you don't think the Lakers will be in the Jazz?
Bro, wait, no. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Warriors beating the Jazz. Either team is beating the Jazz.
Isn't Klay Thompson questionable now?
Steph is
he's not coming back.
No, he's not coming back. Steph is gonna go for 70.
Warriors aren't beating the Jazz, bro.
Like
isn't Donovan Mitchell coming back?
He's gone.
He's gone. He was out.
He's been out.
I didn't know he was out.
I feel like he'll be back for the first round.
Donovan's been out for a minute.
Be back for the first round. He's been out though. I think he's gonna be back for the first round.
I think Utah can beat the Warriors.
I got it
with Donovan.
I think Utah can beat the Lakers. I would bet on it.
The thing about
they're nice.
The thing about the Lakers that just scares me is AD went back to his old frail ways. And I don't know if LeBron's no longer the non-human that we know him to be.
Bro,
we've seen a couple chinks. I don't
Dennis Schroeder is their third best player.
I don't know. 36, 30.
I'm just
really want to bet against playoff LeBron though.
I'm about to say, man, playoff LeBron, it changes the game every year, bro. Until he has a bad playoff series, bro. Let's not say
that again. Listen, as a person who's bet his whole life on LeBron in the playoffs, as a nigga's lost money because of fucking LeBron James, bet against that nigga.
Do it.
Bet against them.
You're on my team. All right, cool.
So right now, the Lakers are up 8. It's still the second quarter. It's just started, and I don't know about the Blazers, but okay.
Both of the spreads were like,
we're up.
Blazers are up by 13. Blazers are up by 20 right now.
We're up big.
20 now?
Okay.
Blazers up 20,
and they got 43 tiebreaker.
I'm sorry, it's 20. It's 19 right now.
Let's go.
It's right now. It's 43-24.
Wait. So if the Lakers lose, and then Lakers lose, they have to loss?
No, if they lose, so if
the Blazers win, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, and if we lose and the Lakers win, then they're the 6.
So if the Lakers lose tonight, they are the 8.
They would have.
They're the 7.
I mean,
7.
Yeah, the 7 seed.
All right, can I hear Duaz Hill? I would love to.
What's your little hill?
So if you guys know me, I love
high school. He said a little hill. I get it.
if you guys know me, I love high school recruiting, and I always pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a very big RJ Barrett fan. So my hill is that RJ Barrett affects the game more than Zion Williamson. He's made the playoffs.
Oh my god! All right.
Pelicans are
Wait.
The Pelicans are just as good talent-wise as the Knicks, and the Knicks are the 4 seed because RJ Barrett was the good wingman he needed to be.
No, bro, you're wrong. This is why you're wrong. It's the Tibbs effect. Tibbs is able to get more out of rosters.
Where was Tibbs when the fucking Timberwolves couldn't do it?
The Timberwolves were the only exception because Carl Anthony and Andrew Wiggins just weren't wired for it. As soon as he got one of his guys in, he got Jimmy Butler in there.
Now Wiggins is wired for it on the Warriors, right? Yep.
I'm telling you, it's RJ Barrett. He has no expectations there now. He has no. He's like the 4th option on offense most of the time.
You don't believe that.
I watch more. I watch Warriors games religiously. All right, I know he's like the 3rd or 4th option. Kelly Oubre is better than him. Okay, on offense anyway.
Whoa!
That's my
That might be a fact. That might be a fact.
All right. Wait, guys. Wait, real quick. John just texted me and said Kelly Oubre is more attractive, so he is better.
No.
This is the second time that I heard this. What's up with you guys in the group chat?
That's John.
No, don't say John name. He a damn lie.
John said market him more.
All jokes aside, I was joking about that hill, but I feel like RJ Barrett really we need to give him his flowers. He averaged 18 on 40% from 3. Like a big thing is that he couldn't shoot. He shot 40% from 3. That's nuts. I didn't think he was shooting that well.
So actually, something that I have off of that. Do we think that because one of the times we talked about Andrew Wiggins and why people hate him, do we think if Wiggins was in a similar situation off the jump, that he would be maybe better? Because I mean the numbers look.
I like what you're saying, because I do think that Wiggins and Barrett are the same kind of the same player. Like they're the same kind of kid. They're both kind of quiet. Like
if we let them be the number 2, and
they're both
points.
Yeah, if you have lower realistic expectations for those players.
Pick.
It's different.
Pick, he got traded.
If Wiggins goes 9, everyone's like, "Oh, he's actually a really nice player." They probably treat him like somewhere between Paul George and Chris Middleton, but he's the top pick, so it's like, "Oh, he's supposed to be one of the best of all time," and he never really reached that because.
But they were hype wise though. I mean, Wiggins had a little more, but they were both the number 1 kid from Toronto all their high school career.
The whole class,
Wiggins
right?
had a little more.
Yep.
Wiggins actually, and the crazy thing about it is, if Joel Embiid wasn't hurt, Wiggins wouldn't have went number 1. Like that was during that draft, and I remember disagreeing with that too, because I was like, remember, I'm always stuck on that high school recruiting thing, but everyone was saying Joel Embiid was way better than Wiggins, and I remember being stunned by that, and it's crazy that it actually ended up being true. But Wiggins, if Embiid wasn't hurt, he would have been the first pick.
I mean, I was with you, Dwight. I was very confused as to why people were putting Embiid over Wiggins. And because of injury. I mean, if his injury wasn't there, he would. And I was like, I mean, I didn't see it. At Kansas, he was blocking a lot of shots, but I'm like, he's not. He's not.
Yeah,
he's still new.
He showcased more skill in Kansas, though. That I think that should have vaulted him above the other guys.
But I think
Wiggins had 3 40-point games or something.
Yeah. I think
Kansas. I was like, this nigga's nice.
What people have to realize also is that basketball is more than just skill. You can be very skilled, but if you're not good mentally and you're not able to really wrap your head around competition now being to your level, it's never going to click for you. And I think for Wiggins, I personally think it's a mental thing, because he has the skill to, if we're being real, to be a top 3 wingman in the NBA.
I don't agree with that.
You don't think he has the skills?
I think
he's a talent.
Well, he's a talent.
I don't think he has the talent either.
Skill.
I think
he
why
doesn't have the mindset.
That? No,
it's between the ears.
And I don't even think that. Because if you're gonna say that, do you think he's more skilled than Kawhi Leonard? Because at the end of the day, now we have to compare him to those guys said top 3 at his position. He's not Kawhi.
I think he's a poor man's Paul George.
There's nothing that Kawhi Leonard can do that Andrew Wiggins can't do.
I think talent.
You said what?
Wiggins,
What'd you say, Marcus?
I said there's nothing that Kawhi Leonard can do that Andrew Wiggins can't do.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's no reason Wiggins can't reach that.
I agree.
Can't reach that ceiling.
Wait, so hold on.
You guys have way too high expectations. I've seen Andrew Wiggins brick some shots this year. Now I'm like, Kawhi not doing that. I saw him. Kawhi gets in his mode. He's not missing shots, bro. You guys are tripping.
Offensively,
no, but that's what we're saying.
Offensively, he's better than Kawhi Leonard.
No.
Better. He's not.
You
better.
guys, whoa.
Better. Like
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He has a similar skill
I said that. I just said that.
No, I think we all agree that
Wiggins no.
I'm a Kelly Oubre guy, so
we all agree he never reached that level. But I think we all see what he could have been. What he could have been is a guy who probably.
Where do we see him?
No, but that all comes back. That all comes back to expectations. Like I feel like people thought he was more than he was, and he never was. Like even when he was at Kansas, like Wiggins never was like this. Like he had those 40-point games, but it was like all like he was just more athletic than everyone. Mm-hmm. When it came to the skill aspect of basketball, I never saw Andrew Wiggins like we hope that he would develop into that, of course, but he's never been that like skill. Like he's gonna get the ball on the wing 3-point stance and cook niggas. Like he's never been that guy.
But what's next for Wiggins?
This is him.
He's going to be the third. He's going to be the third, fourth option. He's going to be the number one defender, a perimeter defender for that team, and he'll be fine.
Yeah,
Andre Iguodala with Clay back and Draymond there. Like we think that's still what's going to happen for him, or we think go somewhere else.
I think he's going to go somewhere else.
I think he'll be a journeyman. Yeah, I think he'll just be a journeyman.
He's under contract for another 2-3 years. So.
He's either done. Yeah, he's either done here or they're trading him for some bullshit.
And do you guys think it's better, Buddy Hield or Andrew Wiggins?
Buddy Hield.
All around.
Like if you had,
I'll take
you're too
I'll
large
take Wiggins
on your team.
I'll take Wiggins over Buddy Hield.
Wiggins can probably do more, but I like
Buddy Hield. Not that good to me.
Buddy Hield is like a top.
He's also on the
Kings in the NBA.
He's a what? Wait, he's a top.
He's a bucket shooter.
Isn't he like one of the top shooters?
Stat wise.
Okay, yeah, cool. So he's a black JJ Redick. All right, cool.
Now he's a little more than that.
I'm just saying, John. I remember you saying Andrew Wiggins was one of the worst players in the league before the season. Like I have to find the tweets. John was going in on how I forgot who Andrew he said because I'm an Andrew Wiggins fan because once again. It's just I like the narrative, but John was saying Andrew Wiggins. Right now, Marcus is saying that Kelly Oubre is better than Andrew Wiggins.
Kelly Oubre and like
Kelly Oubre is not better than Andrew Wiggins.
I like Kelly Oubre's mindset. All right, and he has a lot of the similar skills. He's not as I don't think he's as good a defender, but there's a lot of overlap between the two, or they cancel each other out in a lot of things.
Doesn't Kelly Oubre shoot like 35% from the field?
Yeah, but
from three.
He
was better from like the first part of the season.
He shoots 31% from 3, bro. You think he's better than Andrew Wiggins?
Percentages
he's gonna
are
be on the
misleading.
Jazz soon.
Bro,
no, Don. If you watch Warriors games, Kelly Oubre be bricking, bro.
No, Kelly Oubre, no. They both be bricking though. They both be bricking though. I see Wiggins throw some bricks.
Bro, Wiggins shot 48% from the field this year, bro.
Yeah, it's like his best
on 19 points a game.
No, it's his best season because they had no pressure on him. No one's looking at Andrew Wiggins.
He's done this stats wise. He's done this every year, apart from last year on the T-Wolves.
So he's doing the same shit he does.
So wait, I have a question.
This isn't even the most points a game he's averaged in the season.
I have a question off of this. So one thing that me and James talk about a lot is how there's young dudes who are just giving up on early. Like, I mean, Wiggins is young. Fucking Oubre's young, and Jabari Parker is probably fucking still wild ass young, and we give up on them early because they just haven't worked. What do you think that looks like in terms of the new whole thing with like the G League, dudes going from high school to the G League, and sort of new lanes into the NBA, and rather like how that works with dudes, and when we say like, all right, we've seen enough, like we're done with sort of your window and we're moving on, because that's what NBA teams look at it. I realize we're moving on. We can go.
So the NBA is becoming the NFL more so.
No,
but that's always been the thing with the NBA. Like, and it's just like and the thing with NBA is once again it's a smaller league, There's going to be like next year, there's already the next guy. Like the year after that, like this Hardy kid's coming in. It's like every year there's going to be a new guy. So you're competing with the people ahead of you and behind you. So
and it's also
if you're not hitting in the first 5-6 years, it's a wrap. You're Jabari Parker.
Even sooner than that. If you don't have that rookie, if don't prove anything by your rookie deal, you can be out of the league. Like you have like 2 or 3 years before it's like.
I think one thing
that's true.
Yeah, and I take this, I take this from 2K. But I think people
shout out to John.
So yeah. Shout out to John.
Shout out to John.
Yeah. So I think one thing that's important that people have to realize is that, like, right, so all right, so cool, you playing 2K, right? Now, if you play my career, for those of you that played, you get the option at the end of high school.
That's a 2K breakdown.
I love it. I'm playing too. So
it's real life. It's real shit, and this how I see it. This is how I see it now, right? So you choose the college or the G League. Now, if you go to college, you'll get more fans, right? You get more fans in the early on, which means it will lead to more endorsements because you'll have more popularity. If you go to the G League, you'll get less fans, but you'll get more VC, which is essentially how you upgrade your attributes and things like that, right? I take that in the same way with life. Well, not with life, but with the current state of how the NBA is. When you got players like Jaden Hardy, that's like, you know what? I'm not going to college. Instead, I'm going to the G League. They're already putting themselves, I don't care how you flip it, it's professional basketball. We saw with LaMelo. I was one of those people that, and I will admit, I was one of those people that when I was like, oh, LaMelo is going to Australia, ain't no real competition. He's playing against.
I remember arguing with people about this.
And he played like 12 games. He didn't play a
lot, but it's professional basketball. And if you're 18 years old and you're going up against, and he was
in Lithuania before that.
I watched the team Ignite, which had those 3 young dudes that all went from high school. I watched them play, right? They had 4 teammates that were in the league, and not just in the league, that were like, they had Jared Jack was on their team. Jeremy Lin was in that game. Quentin AC was in that game. There was a couple.
I really want to touch on what Gus is saying, just to emphasize like what happened today. Like J. Cole today was playing in this African league, and I think people thought it was jokes. But then I started looking at the niggas. Like these are niggas who all played high-end college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like these aren't just dudes
4 years
that were just at the YMCA. These dudes were averaging like 18 points a game in college. So it's like, when you're playing pro basketball, I don't care where you're at, bro. You're playing dudes who can hoop at some level. So if you're doing that at 18,
so just even touch what Gus is saying too. Look at RJ Hampton. He's balling for Orlando right now. Because the whole second half of the season, he's been playing.
He's on Orlando,
he's been playing very, very well.
He couldn't get on the court in fucking Denver.
Now he's finally playing. He's balling. So like
I have a question. So actually, just touching on this, I have a question for you guys.
Shout out to LeVar Bell.
I have a question for you guys. Because just off his like 2K thing, and that was bad. Are you white?
LeVar.
I like that. I'm about to take that.
What changes into LeVar?
Do you guys think though? For these Ignite kids, I feel like they're going to be the steals of the draft because everyone's putting like the like Suggs kid over him, and Cade Cunningham was the number 1 kid in their class, but like even Evan Mobley, I'm like, yo, these dudes are like Jalen Green was averaging 20 points versus ex-NBA niggas. Mm-hmm. Why isn't that more impressive than fucking homie who couldn't even beat UCLA? Like I just don't I think that's very confusing.
Do you think the recruiters haven't adjusted yet?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Kev.
No, you think it's just because the recruiters just haven't like adjusted to that yet?
Yeah, I think that's.
And I think that's
there's a bias from old scouts.
That's true.
I think old scouts need to they need to straighten up because that's the same thing they did with LaMelo, and they need to like.
Well, you got to keep it in perspective. But you also got to put. I do agree. I think you're right. And I think the difficulty for the scouts is that this whole situation is new, right?
Right.
Yep.
So really, if we really want to take things there, this whole way they recruit high schoolers, the way they scout high schoolers is really based off of being NBA ready, right? Because you had the Kobe Bryants, the KGs, the Dwight Howards that came straight. So they're almost not comparing everyone, but they're using that skill level as a basis of saying, is this kid NBA ready? First of all, there's very few 17, 18-year-olds that are NBA ready. Now, are they ready for professional basketball? Yes, and that's why this whole G League thing is taking this, hopefully it takes a real good jump. But you're 100% right, Dwa. These scouts are dumb as hell. If you think that a dude who averaged 20 points on former NBA players is not better than a dude who, averaged 22 points in high school at a small high school in Indiana and got a scholarship from UCLA.
I got a question
even
for you
dudes in
guys.
college who are going to be working on Wall Street as some insurance company. Like, again, not everybody on a major.
Why do people always hate on
program.
Insurance when they talk about athletes not making it? Like, athletes always got to do insurance. Like, what's wrong?
It's an easy career to get into.
Easy career, and everybody has a bad
This nigga could be a doctor.
Every former nigga goes to insurance. That's a fact.
He's gonna be insurance. Like, everyone just makes it seem like that's some shitty ass job.
He's gonna be a trainer on Instagram.
It's not. But like, I'm just saying, even the dudes on the Power 5 teams, like, some of them are going to end up not being in the league or not playing overseas, and just like
majority people don't realize that, like, majority of people, bro, on the team, it's a 12-man roster. Majority of y'all, by majority, I mean anywhere from 10 to 12 of y'all, of the 12 on that roster, are not going to the league. That's just and even if you do get to the league, you might be, and now, with all due respect, I say this in the sense of get drafted. A lot of people actually make it to the league technically because they'll sign I don't know if you guys count summer league deals as making it to the league. But like a lot of them will do it that way, go undrafted. And I have nothing but respect for it. You made the league. Mm-hmm. But in the sense of just because you got to that level, that literally means nothing.
Shout out to Ben Wallace, first undrafted guy to make the Hall of Fame.
Now you go, shout out to my boy Big Ben. But now if you go play professional basketball in the G League, come on, bro. Like you're not in a situation where you can honestly be at the end of that bench. You could be the 12th man, but you're learning. It's almost, I almost look at it as a freshman on the varsity team. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. I'm not asking you to go in there and drop 30. What I'm asking you to do is when I put you in the game, you learn and you get better every single year. Now, if you want to be 18 years old and you come in and you balling in the G League, come on, that means a lot more to me, you know what I'm saying, than a guy that's literally struggling with some other 18, 19-year-olds that may not have a professional future in basketball.
That's what you call, what you're saying here, that's what you call growth, man. I remember when you used to hate on the mellow ball.
Listen,
that's what you call growth.
Dwight is so petty.
I mean, he's not wrong though. Like,
because I remember I've had so many arguments with people. I was like, yo, this nigga's fit. Like, I really remember people saying like, yo,
he got pulled out of high school to go play professional basketball in Lithuania.
The LKL, they were like, well, the LKL is the fifth league.
I got a question for the pod though.
It's the fifth league, man. But what's up, Kev?
All right, so what's the future of college basketball then?
It's always gonna be,
Kev. I was thinking that. Kev, I was thinking that when we were having this conversation, and we talked about it a little bit in the group chat, it's going to fuck up schools that rely on one and dones. The only reason why I'm saying that is I think the schools that really be finding gems, which are like the kids who are like, like the 50s to the 150s in recruiting, like the Craytons.
LeBron is trying really hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like those schools are going to really be competing with the Dukes now and the UNCs, because now UNC is their number one recruit is going to be, or Duke is number one recruit is going to be the 10th kid in the nation. So let's say the 10th kid versus the 30th kid, that gap is way smaller than before, when it was like the 30th kid and the kid who you knew was going number one in the draft next year. So it's like that the gap is going to be smaller between those schools, but I think it's going to be a lot better for college basketball, because I think anyone can win now.
Yeah, we care about parity in college basketball because we have the
right. But hold on,
there's no parity in college basketball. What the hell are you talking about? Like the same blue bloods always winning. Besides, like this year.
Well, I mean, this year,
no, but Marcus, I think, and there isn't, and that's what I'm saying. I think this is actually going to make it
create parity,
create parity. Because the reason UCLA was even there, it was because they had old, like they had LiAngelo Ball's team.
But you have transfer. The transfer market changing in college basketball is something too. But with college
that changes things.
With college, like you look at Duke. Duke used to be the team that had the 4-year dues. Then he changed over because Calipari was known as the
Duke was Gonzaga.
Duns, and they started getting the one and duns with Elton Brand. Elton Brand was the start, and then they started doing the one and duns. And so, yeah, I think you get a change of, okay, now we get back to the 3-4-year dudes. And we can still get the best of those guys, but we're used to the understanding that
you did add a point. I take back everything I'm saying. Transfer market's gonna
we're just letting guys
gonna fuck things up because now guys are just walking through. Like last year, for example, Louisville, their whole team was trash, and their best player went to
Kentucky.
Yeah, like now these kids are just
so real quick to go back to Kev's question about the future of college basketball. I kind of somewhat, I'm not gonna say disagree, but I do somewhat disagree because this is the way I see it, right? So last year you had about 3 or 4 guys that went to that Ignite team straight out of high school.
Mm-hmm. 5 or 6 guys, I thought.
Yeah,
5 or 6.
Some guys aren't.
It was 8 guys out of the top 10 didn't go to college.
Right. Wait, I'm sorry. You said 8 out of the top 10 did not go to college?
Yeah.
So 8 went to that.
Wow.
Because they didn't. I think one kid went overseas. A couple, then the Ignite kids, and I think another kid was just floating around on another G League team. Okay. I can search it now, but it was something like that. And then the other kids was the Boston kid who was on Kentucky, and then there was the kid on UNC who I'm not on Duke who quit on Duke.
Oh yeah.
Jalen Johnson.
They killed him.
So I mean, that doesn't really solidify my point at all. But what I was going to say was that I don't think that I'm curious because I think that I don't think the gap is going to be as small because even when I was looking at Jaden Hardy, right? So for Jaden Hardy, my question was, why are you going to the G League? Because I think he's so good that I think he could ball out, and I respect his decision because I think he could go to college and I think he will snap on dudes. I think he will be in the running for freshman of the year, all that. Yeah. But instead he goes.
He'd be the best player in college.
Yeah. Instead he's going to the G League, which I respect. But his interview, he said literally the reason being, and maybe I kind of assumed undertone. But the reason being was just because COVID messed him up. He didn't go on no visits. He literally said, I didn't go on any visits, but had I went on the visits and not because of COVID, I would have went too. So that already tells me that the G League wasn't really his thing.
What do they get paid in the G League?
I think a little bit less than 100.
I think it's like 100. I thought it was like,
right?
Do they get paid more than WNBA players?
No. The people who are coming straight are forgoing what's it called? College. They get forgoing college. They're getting paid more than regular G League players. Regular G League players are getting that 125. Then there's that flex thing where there's 2 guys on a team, and I think they're getting the NBA close to the NBA 300,000 or something like that. And I think that's what the kids are getting who can't enter the draft.
Okay, so maybe it could be still. I don't know.
I think they're making 500. They're making 500, and they can get endorsements. So it's
So again, I think some of these because it's only that G League Ignite team that can sign these guys, right? Or
no? No. The Ignite team was just a new team. From
okay.
They were a completely new team, and their first order of business was we getting the young guys.
Okay, because Georgia just had as a state that whole image and likeness bill, and I know that's a big thing that's happening. I know California was doing that too with the college players being able to have their image and likeness and whatever. So that's going to play a part into these guys who kind of know that they're one and dones and sort of what they want to do. But I think the G League offers them another opportunity outside of overseas. Between
I don't want to
because wasn't 2023 isn't the NBA looking to change that?
Yeah, they're looking to go back to. I think they proposed 2 years ago to move the age limit to 18 officially. And there's there's a lot of talk about there being 2 different drafts though. There's going to be a one draft for like
baseball,
non-high school guys.
Yeah.
That's not right. It's like the draft as we know it now, but then there will be like another draft, like maybe like a month or so after, just for like the 18-year-olds. Like they're still trying to figure it out. That's like that's like the last proposal that I heard.
I think they're gonna try to get into that style, like, and that's gonna really like college. The only reason the NBA really hasn't done it is because of college, for real. And I don't know what their agreement is. I don't know how that works, but
I'm sure they're in business.
They're in business somehow. But one thing that me and Kev always talk about, I feel like they should just make it free. So it's like the G League and the NBA are one whole thing. Relegation. Let fucking the Delaware 87ers get a shot at fucking jail.
Yes, drop the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
please. Get the
Timberwolves. I'm here for seriously. Like, I'm tired of seeing the Timberwolves like just suck it up every year.
Oh, that would get like NBA players jazzed up. Like you're about to be fucking taking a team bus.
You're gonna be in Idaho next year.
Yeah. Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Can you imagine Karl Anthony Towns playing on the fucking Karl Anthony Towns playing the North Dakota teams? Like
that'd be fun.
Oh man.
Like, I think that would be great content, but
this is really good though. So we definitely want to do this throughout the playoffs. I think it's good to take advantage of, just like things that everybody's paying attention to and get our takes. I mean, you all are all knowledgeable, fans. So, let's just kind of get on and chat about it. So, I mean, next time we gather, we'll have sort of, at least the, I guess, first round or the new first round of the playoffs kind of set. And, we'll talk about what that looks like. But this has been really good. And, thanks for joining and, certainly see us next time. And thanks for the guys for stopping by. This is dope.
Zone.
Can't wait to that WNBA game.
Shout out to the 76ers.
Warriors in 6.
Oh, man. All right, peace.
All right, y'all be.
All right, fellas.